And substituting for Jerry Venn, Gary Danko will be reporting from the pits here at Stafford Motor Speedway in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. This is the Carquest 150 Busch North Series race tonight from Stafford Motor Speedway on AT&T Broadband 3. Tom, things have certainly changed in the last couple of races for the driver of the number 61 car, Mike Olson.
Mike Olson is a bridesmaid no longer in the Busch North Series. Took his first two victories back-to-back. Only the third driver to do that after Kelly Moore and Mike Rowe. He's got two second-place finishes as well. He leads the points coming into Stafford.
Gary Danko is in the pits right now with Mike Olson. Gary?
Well, thanks, Dave. Mike, two back-to-back wins, 2 seconds. You come into tonight's Carquest 150 as the point leader. What's been the big difference from last year to this year?
Well, Gary, I wish I knew the exact answer, but there's a lot of factors into it. The Little Trees Racing team has just gelled really well this year, and you know, we've been good right off the truck at all these tracks, and that's made my job real easy as a driver. And we've been able to fine-tune the car for the race instead of trying to struggle to find 2/10 just to be competitive, and that's been a big factor. And I guess just the guys and myself, things seem to be going our way. We're getting that little extra luck that you need, and you know, we keep the ball rolling. You know, it's still early in the points, but we're happy. It's a real good start for us.
Well, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
One of the big keys to Mike Olson's success is the preparation of the race car, not only back at the shop, but at the racetracks as well. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Gary. When we come back, we'll have the start of the Carquest 150 from Stafford Motor Speedway here on Speedway Heat. This is the Carquest 150. I'm Dave Stevens, along with Tom Ring. And joining us in the pits, filling in for Jerry Venn, Gary Danko. Gary?
Well, thank you, Dave. I'll tell you, races can either be won or lost right here on pit road. Things are going to get very exciting here at Jack Root Stafford Motor Speedway for the Carquest 150, and I'll have all the action right here on pit road. Dave?
Thanks, Gary. Looking forward to it. And, of course, this is going to be an exciting race. 150 laps, Tom Ring.
And it's going to be interesting tonight because last year this race was won twice. Ted Christopher, Mike Johnson, both of those drivers won this race without coming in for tires, so it may not be won on pit road. I think you're going to see a lot of drivers try to do that. Hopefully won't be anybody who had handling problems, because boy, on one set of tires will make for a really interesting last 20 laps or so.
They've set the bar pretty high, Mike Johnson and Ted Christopher. They didn't take tires before. Martin Truex has won races that way as well. A lot of great drivers out in the field here tonight. We had 42 cars attempt to qualify. Only 30 can start. Here's how they're lining up on the track right now. Scarborough, Maine, Kelly Moore is going to start in the 5th position, though he qualified with the Bud Pole tonight due to the redraw. So we will give you the running order and tell you where they qualified. Dale Quarterly is on the outside of row number 1. He qualified with a 3rd fastest time. Matt Kobieluk in the Mohegan Sun Chevrolet out of Oakdale, Connecticut will start 3rd. He had 2nd fastest time qualifying. Brad Layton starting on the pole in the number 1 spot. He qualified 4th in the Burnham Boilers Chevrolet. Brian Chu qualified 5th. He redrew 6th from the Buzz 2 Auto Group. Mike Johnson, last year's winner, qualified 6th, will start 8th here this evening in the Johnson Lumber Ford. Dennis Demers, also a winner here in the Wheelan Shelbourne Limestone Chevrolet. And he is starting 7th, though qualified 4th. And Dale Shaw was our 7th fastest qualifier. He'll start 8th. Dale Shaw, of course, in the guaranteed overnight delivery Chevrolet. Rounding up the top 10, one of our favorite drivers to watch here on Speedway Heat, the number 29, Dave Dion, in the Berlin City Continental Paving Ford. Tracy Gordon from Strong, Maine, in the Tic Tac Chevrolet. Those are the first 10 starters here tonight, with Brad Layton setting the pace and the Burnham Boilers, number 55.
had an interesting qualifying here. After about a dozen cars ran, rain came through about 5 minutes. They dried the track up. Matt Kovaluk, the first driver to go back out on the track after they had dried the track off, and he immediately set fast time. The fastest guy before they did that, Brian Chu, who did a heck of a job in qualifying tonight.
Yeah, before the rains came, Brian Chu had the pole, broke the record, but the rains came and cooled down the track, made the cars go a lot faster in that second group that went out there. But a good run for the driver of the 09, starting 6th tonight. Billy Ryder drops the green flag, and Brad Layton sets the pace and the point, and Matt Kovaluk is hot on his heels as they come off a turn 2 down the back straightaway.
As is Dale Quarterly in that number 32 car. Let's see how these drivers settle in. Again, 150 laps. If you're planning on going with the same set of tires, you don't want to be racing this early.
Brad Layton in the Vernon Boilers, number 55. Matt Kovaluk, the Mohegan Sun Machine. Dale Quarterly in the Land O'Lakes Butter, number 32. And Dennis Demers is right there in the number 86 Chevron Limestone Machine, followed closely by Kelly Moore in the Napa, number 47. Single file on the track right now. And pretty much the way they started is the way that they're running right now. And something happened with Brad Layton as Kovaluk was able to get under him. And that had to be a mistake on Brad Layton's part.
Certainly looked like he just went into the corner too deep, broke too late, just kind of lost it for a split second there. And
Kovaluk got that car on rails as we come across the line 3 times, 3.5 laps complete now as they go down the back straightaway. Kovaluk pulling away from Brad Layton, a good 6-7 car length lead right now on the defending Busch North champion.
Brad Layton can't be happy about that, what just happened, but he's enough of a veteran to know that long way to go. He's just going to settle in where he is. Matt Kovaluk, on the other hand, he's a charger. He's a hard-driving, hard, competitive driver who is looking for his first Busch North win. So he likes where he is right now, and I think he's going to try to pile it on a little if he can.
Matt Kovaluk, when he's up front like that, you can almost bet that he's going to be able to stay up there, and you've got to get really close to Kovaluk. And when you do, Matt can ride you a little hard. He knows how to play that game, but if you give him some driving room, he's a pretty clean driver. So still very, very early in our Carquest 150 here from Stafford Motor Speedway. Matt Kovaluk, we believe, Brad Layton, Dale Quarterly, and here comes Dennis Demers for the pass on the inside of Quarterly. And Quarterly doesn't let that happen. Right behind Kelly Moore, waiting for someone to make a mistake in the Napa Auto Parts machine. And Brian Chu still running in 6th place early on in this race as they cross the line for lap number 7.
Dennis Demers last year was the pole sitter and the pole winner in this exact race. And he looks like he's pretty strong right now. And you see Kelly Moore trying to get to the inside as well.
Dave Dion moving up on the inside of Dale Shaw from that 7th position, that 8th position rather. Dion was trying to make it 7 now. And the caution comes out on the raceway. And turn number 2, the 52 car. And we've got a problem with Dave Darling out of Seekonk, Massachusetts. And he's got a little bit of a fire there. Dave hauls out of the side of the car. And problems again for the Seekonk Grand Prix driver. And you hate to see that happen.
He hated to see it happen. You could see the disgust in the way he threw that glove. Dave Darling had a great run at Star Speedway. That was the last race this division ran.
A lot of fire there now.
This is a fuel fire.
And the safety crew, kudos to them as they stay right there and stay right with it and fight that off and get the fire put out. Safety services people are bringing Dave Darling across the track. Red flag condition now out on the track. Everybody stops, as is the rule. You must stop on a red flag. You cannot do anything to your cars. You cannot go into the pits. If you do, you are disqualified from the race. So a lot of damage to the number 52. I'd like to know what caused that. Would it be a broken fuel line or an oil line? What would do that, Tom?
I think a broken fuel line is a good guess.
How it would break, maybe something didn't get tightened before the car came out. He did take qualifying, so that's kind of hard to imagine how it could have come loose, but obviously something went wrong with the number 52. Seekonk Grand Prix, of course, always a supporter here of Speedway Heat on AT&T Broadband 3. Dave Darling, great driver. He's just had an awful lot of bad luck this year. Hasn't really been able to put together any good long runs. And let's take another look at this here in just a moment and see what we can see from our camera angles here around the half mile here at Stafford. And that's it. He was pretty much parked on the track. And here he comes out of the side of the car. Gets out of there in a hurry.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's motivation right there. He's still torqued off. I mean, you can't blame him.
This is not a track that Dave looks forward to coming to. He's had a tough time here. The team has had a tough time trying to figure the place out. It is a little bit unique. It's one of the larger tracks that they come to, certainly other than New Hampshire Speedway, to have the half mile here. And it's also somewhat unusual of a configuration. So they've struggled to find the way to get fast around here. But he would have liked, one thing Dave always says he's looking for is laps. Lap time, seat time. Didn't get it tonight.
And a lot of drivers in this field started out just the way Dave Darling did, and it's just a matter of time, get through the bad luck, know how to overcome, and just be there when it happens, and he's going to turn out to be a pretty good driver. Let's go down to the pitch with Gary Danko, who's talking with Dave Darling. Gary?
Well, thank you, Dave. I'll tell you, that was a wild one up in turn number 2. I just caught up with Dave Darling. Dave, first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what happened. Coming off of 3, I was following Kip Stockwell there. It got tight, and I had the thing, and then all of a sudden it just shot into the wall. I hit the wall coming out of 4. Got on the front stretch, real slow speed, and the thing just wouldn't turn. Didn't have any brakes, nothing. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, and your car erupted up in flames as well.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was about.
Okay, the big thing, Dave Darling is okay. Nothing can be said for his race car, but the main thing, he is okay. Dave?
Thank you very much, Gary. He's okay physically right now, but mentally he's having a tough time. You can see it on his face, Tom. You got to feel bad for him. It's too bad, and there's a lot of damage to that car, obviously, but he'll be back. He'll come right back swinging.
Interesting, he said he lost brakes as well as the handling went away.
Yeah. He could have, maybe something in the front end broke and took a brake line with it. And maybe when he was racing, I don't think racing with Kippy would have done that, but then we didn't really get a chance to see that. So tough break for the driver of the number 52. When we come back, we're going to have 29 cars on the restart, 8 laps complete of our Carquest 150 from Stafford Motor Speedway. You're watching it on Speedway Heat. Speedway on Speedway Heat. We're under our first caution of the race. Gary Danko had a chance to talk to one of the leading drivers in the series, Tracy Gordon. Gary?
Talking with Tracy Gordon, the driver of the six-pack Chevrolets. He gets prepared for the Carquest 150. He has 1 win and 2 poles, but one big key, Tracy, the crew chief that you had for a long, long time, no longer with you.
No, Roland and I, we really gelled good for like 10 or 11 years, and we knew what each one was thinking all the time, but he had family obligations, and, my best wishes of him and his family. He had a new baby over the winter, and he really wants to spend time with them, but I got Steve May filling in this weekend, and, we seem to be pretty quick in practice. We'll see what we do in qualifying, and hopefully we can go out there and get another win or another pole.
Tracy Gordon's got to be one of the favorites coming in to the Carquest 150.
Thanks, Gary. Tracy Gordon, a popular driver, sometimes controversial driver on the Busch North Series. And we wish him luck with his crew chief situation. And Raleigh LaChance will be missed on that team. And we're just about ready to, I think we're going to get one more lap out of this caution here, Tom. Actually, no, it's flying in the breeze pretty good, so we might see another couple of caution laps click off here as we get ready to resume racing in the Carquest 150. Lights stay on the safety vehicle, so this is going to be at least 2 more laps of caution. Billy Ryder is our starter in the flag tower here tonight, as he is for every Busch race for the season. And Matt Kobieluk, Brad Layton, Dennis Demers, and Kelly Moore, the first 2 rows when we come back for the restart of the Carquest 150 on Speedway Heat.
Tight right now, so we'll have to see how things play out here tonight at the Jack Arute Stafford Motor Speedway. Gentlemen,
thank you, Gary. Green flag is in the air. Brad Layton gets the jump on Matt Kobieluk. Brad Layton to the lead in the Burnham Boilers Chevrolet. Kobieluk coming right back hot on his heels.
Boy, I'm almost surprised they let him get away with that. We see Kelly Moore coming up on the inside of Matt Kobieluk. But, the guy in the pole is supposed to lead him to the green, so I think it was the savvy veteran, Brad Layton.
No harm, no
foul.
No harm, no foul, no black flag, and nothing on the radio. Brian Chu hung up on the outside of the 09 as Quarterly and Dale Shaw both get under him, and that's for 6th and 7th, but Chu answers back from a little further back. And you see the only thing on the outside there, that's that yellow car, the Buzz 2 Racing Chevrolet, Buzz 2 Auto Group. And Brad Layton. He's got a mirror full of Matt Kobiluck, and Kelly Moore is right there as well. Dennis Demers won here, I believe it was 2 years ago. And Demers is right there in the hunt in 4th place.
Kobiluck might be using that idle left foot to kick himself at the moment, so he probably wants to get right back on Layton, push him as much as he can at the very least.
Here comes the rest of the field, off of 2 and entering the back straightaway.
And it looks like 95 at rush hour they're trying to get onto the highway, huh?
For the most comprehensive, up-to-date information on the web, go to bnsracing.com. bnsracing.com. All kinds of forums and stories about the drivers and happenings at the tracks, upcoming events, and, of course, press releases from all the teams and past race results as well.
That's where we go.
Brad Layton. Having not a stellar year this year, 2-time Busch North champion back-to-back, trying to do it again for 3 years in a row, something that's unheard of to do it back-to-back like that. Of course, Jamie Obie is the only 3-time Busch North champion in the series. Brad Layton trying to accomplish that feat, and currently in 4th in points. Not where he wants to be. He wants to be up there towards the top.
That lone win, he did get the job done. 2 top 5 finishes. For most drivers, that would be an enviable position, but I'm sure Brad Layton wasn't happy with it.
Now, you got to remember, Brad Layton ran last year, and he finished in the top 10 each and every race last season.
He also ran every lap of every race, and that's amazing.
And not able to do that this year, though, unfortunately. So Brad Layton, Matt Kobiluck in the Mohegan Sun number 40 machine, followed closely behind by the Napa Auto Parts number 47, driven by the man who has the most Busch, actually Bud poles, with 40. And second place, how many does that driver have?
I don't know.
20. So twice as many as anybody else, Kelly Moore. And still rocking and rolling.
You know, Dave, you
Having
could
a
cue
good
me
time.
on these questions so I can figure out the answer and look really smart.
Somebody told me that tonight. I did not know that answer either.
Yeah.
I talked to the Busch North media director, Al Robinson, who knows everything about every racing division in America, and probably a few in Canada.
And he's seen most of them race.
Yes, he has. He has been there.
Kobiluck, right on the tail of Layton. This is what you expect out of Matt Kobiluck. He's not going to hang back.
No, he's going to stay right there with Brad Layton. Kelly Moore, Dennis Demers. Here we get a good shot of the second group that is coming through. And it's Dale Quarterly in the Land O'Lakes machine, Brian Chu in the 09 Buzz 2 Auto Group machine. God, well, not God himself, but somewhat of a racing god, Dale Shaw, the guaranteed overnight delivery number 60. Dave Dion looks like he's right behind Shaw in the Berlin City Continental Paving Ford. And, of course, Mike Johnson, last year's winner here at Stafford Speedway, for one of the races we covered here on Speedway Heat. 25 laps across the line this time. 125 to go. The Carquest 150. Quarterly, Chu, Dale Shaw. Everybody's racing pretty well, and the front leaders are pulling away, but not quite as fast as one could expect here at a very long track like Stafford Motor Speedway. There's Dave Dion in the Berlin City Continental Paving, number 29. Dion, always an impressive driver. You know, if you look at the history books and you go back, Dion's raced in just about every racing division here in New England, with the old American-Canadian Tour. Of course, a regular at Oxford Plains Speedway, Tom, at the Oxford 250. That's the True Value Oxford 250. And word has it that he was practicing for that race for this summer coming up later on.
He's another driver, though, that he, again, like we said with Brad Layton, with that lone top 5 finish out of the 6 races so far this season, he can't be happy with that finish right now.
Dion currently 7th in points right now, someplace that he'd like to be if he could stay in the top 10 for the season. I wonder, you know, Dion may not have it to have it all together this year to be a contender for the championship, but certainly could finish in the top 5. Teddy Christopher's got a tire down in turn 2. TC in the number 13 NASCAR machine. Down the backstretch now going into turn 3. There he is. And my goodness, what a tough break for Ted Christopher. He's going to have to pull into the pits under green. Certainly going to lose at least 1 lap, possibly 2. And Teddy, a fan favorite here at Stafford Speedway with all his SK modified wins, has a tough break here in the Busch North Carquest 150 at Stafford Speedway. Brad Layton still showing the way, followed by Kovaluk and Kelly Moore as they cross the line on lap number 31.
Looks like Kovaluk's starting to settle in a little bit here.
I don't think they're going to wear out their race cars, in the first 50 laps of this race. Once Layton's up front, folks know that he'll stay there, and he won't try to pull away and burn up his tires, burn up the car in the first half of the race.
Well, again, 150 laps here at Stafford on a half-mile track. That's a long distance. And if you're going to try to save run with one set of tires through the whole race, you obviously have to save them.
And we got a spin over in turns 1 and 2.
Brad Boycido, number 36. He got it straightened out as we stick with our leader.
Good driving.
They run through the smoke, but we're able to stay to green.
Good driving by the driver of the number 36. As long as you can keep that caution in, you're doing your job out there. You don't lose as much time either because the caution comes down here at the rear of the field. So he looks like he settled in just ahead of Eddie McDonald and crew, so he's not towards the end. And again, caution out on the raceway. Brian Chu in the 09 is down on the entrance to turn 1 and loops it around backwards on the track. I don't know if he had any help going that way. Looks like he's got a big old donut on the side of the car, so that could be the case. After a great qualifying run, starting fifth fastest here this afternoon and drawing the 6th starting position. That's going to put him behind. Let's see, he's going to have a little bit of time to make up some lap time.
He's going to have to go all the way around past the start-finish line. This is something new at Stafford Speedway, where they're putting the signal for whether the pit is open or closed at the start-finish line, and you've got to pass that signal before you can then pass the pace car and head towards the pits. And right now the flag is out saying that the pits are closed. We're going to take another look at this and see if we can see what happened to June. Look for that bright yellow car.
Yeah, we're going to catch him here in turns 3 and 4. And let's see if he had any help there. Oh, yes, he did. Yeah, man, who was the culprit there? Was that Dale?
Find out.
Yeah, it is Dale Shaw. So definite contact off of 4. Chu tried to hold it and wasn't able to do it.
And Shaw sporting some damage as well. Turn 4 is so treacherous here at Stafford Speedway. You really have to tiptoe through it.
And they get together like that too. It's awfully hard. Brian did hold his line pretty well because you saw as Shaw came down the front stretch that he was a little wobbly. I mean, Brian just didn't give it up. But a tough break for the driver of the 09, who's decidedly needing some better luck here this season, but hopefully can pull it back together and finish strong here tonight. When we come back, we'll have the restart of the Carquest 150, the Busch North Series here on Speedway Heat. You're watching it all on AT&T Broadband 3. And, wow, Teddy came down hard on the fall. Raked the whole right side of the car, too.
Now, that's not the spin of Gordon, obviously enough. That's when we saw Christopher go out. But the contact was already made. The damage might have already happened at that point. Is it possible that maybe Gordon cut a hose or something, started to leak some fluid?
Could be, and maybe caught that up, and that caused him to go around. So he did get the car raked on the side and then go around. And still in the pits. Ooh, Barney McRae. And to the side of Dennis Demers, that was some damage that we had seen earlier that we had mentioned. So Barney, the number 5, got into the 86. And it looks like Tracy Gordon. Well, let's check down with Gary Danko and see what's happening in the pits. Gary?
Well, thank you, Dave. It's been very, very busy down here on pit road once again. First of all, Tracy Gordon has brought car number 14 down on pit lane. They have a broken brake line on car number 14. Dennis Demers has also been in on pit road. He's got severe damage onto the right side of the car. And on before that last caution, Matt Koblek, who was leading this event, brought the car down for right side rubber, and they also put 2 rounds of wedge in the car. I talked to his crew chief. They think that they can bring that car back up to the front. They really think that they have something here tonight at Jack Arute Stafford Motor Speedway. Dave?
Thanks, Gary. And again, a very busy night down on pit lane. Camera work tonight. Warren Smith, Steve Russo, Mike Weber, Jim Darlington, and Bob Yoski are doing a great job bringing us all those fine replays here. This is a very long track, kind of hard to set up, too. It's over a half mile. And you really have to know what you're doing here to get these tough shots.
Boy, they're doing a good job of catching goings on all over the place on this track tonight. Tracy Gordon, brake line, that'll do it. Brake fluid will definitely get that on the front tire and forget it.
We're going to try to set the field here for you. Of course, Brad Layton up front. Martin Truex Jr. followed by Mike Olson and Jerry Marquis. That's the first of 4 cars. And then it looks like Brian Hoare, Kelly Moore, Dale Quarterly. Looks like Brian Chu is on the lead lap, running around 8th spot, according to our unofficial official. I'm not getting any disagreement, so it looks like that could be. Denny Doyle looks like he's on the lead lap, too, and running out the top 10 would be Mike Rowe in the 24. Trackside Magazine, monthly in-depth coverage of New England racing, a proud sponsor of Speedway Heat. You can see Trackside Magazine on your newsstand. Pick it up, take a look. I like what you see.
Covers actually all of the Northeast.
Yeah.
For folks who might like some of the stuff out in New York and Pennsylvania. And certainly proud to say that I'm one of the writers and columnists for Trackside, and a great group of people.
I'm just going to mention that for you.
Well, I just want to let everybody know that, you know, you want to read kind of behind-the-scenes stories, not just the news of every race, but what's going on, what drivers are hot.
Tom Ring, one of those writers that brings you all the dirt, innuendo, and gossip in racing, and he puts it in.
Even if I have to make it up.
That's right. If there's no story, well, ask Tom. He'll make one up for you. Great group of folks down there, too. We're glad to have them on board this year. Lap 106 has gone by. We go green, I think, next time by. A lot of carnage out there tonight.
Carnage.
Carnage.
I get it.
Yeah. Carnage.
It was the Craftsman truck that beat trucking.
There you go.
Truck march.
Lights are off the pace car. It'll be lap 108 when they come across the stripe for this restart.
I'll tell you, if Matt Kobieluk does get himself back into contention for the win, it'll be a heck of a job.
It sure will. Jerry Marquis looking awfully good from that 4th position in that number 1 car. Jerry hasn't been terribly competitive. He doesn't run a full schedule either. Jerry runs a lot of the Featherlight Modified Tour. And Brian Hoare is currently in 5th. He's the leading rookie right now. We had a chance to talk with Jerry Marquis earlier in the day. Marquis would love to be in victory lane here tonight at Stafford Speedway. Single file restart is what it's looking like. Yes, it is after lap number 100. Green flag in the air from Billy Ryder. Brad Layton, Martin Truex Jr., Mike Olson, Jerry Marquis. Here comes Kelly Moore.
Mike Olson was a little slow on that restart, and Jerry Marquis got right into the back of the car. The whole field kind of had to check up behind him, and they were lucky to be able to get a clean restart off of that.
That do happen from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Hoare, as we mentioned earlier, the leading rookie candidate for Ray Bess's Rookie of the Year honors. He's put together some really good runs here so far this season, and having a kind of a Mike Johnson-esque kind of rookie year so far. Let's see if we can do that as the races roll on. It's a total of 21 Busch North races in this season schedule. Here's Kelly Moore on the inside of Jerry Marquis.
We go back to our leader, Brad Layton, being chased by the somewhat crooked car of Martin Truex Jr.
It's a crooked car, huh?
There was a crooked car.
Okay.
There were many crooked cars tonight. We again look at Kelly Moore and Jerry Marquis. Kelly Moore trying to get by on the inside of Marquis. This time looks like he's going to get the job done.
Down low on the inside, here comes the Napa machine. Kelly back stronger than ever this year. Not a problem as Marquis is off the pace just a tick as Quarterly gets under there too. Dale Quarterly never missing an opportunity. Took advantage of that and slid under Jerry Marquis. Brian Hoare right behind the number 1 car. There's Kelly. Quarterly in the 32.
In 5th at the moment.
Olson gets by Martin Truex Jr. to take over 2nd place. Mike Olson is on the march.
As is Kelly Moore.
Here comes Kelly Moore on the inside of Martin Truex Jr. You can't say this has been a boring race so far. It's just been wonderful as far as what's been going on the track.
This is neat stuff to watch Moore and Truex stay side by side through complete laps. Finally, Truex starts to peel off a little. Now he's got to look out for Quarterly behind him.
Truex is a ton of talent in that car. That car's pretty banged up too. As this has been it's been a very competitive, close race. A lot of sheet metal being torn away though tonight.
Short track stock car racing.
Short track stock car racing, one of the longest short tracks we have here in New England. And so far it's been exciting. Brad Layton just hoping they keep racing behind him because that'll give him something to do instead of chasing him down. Here comes Kelly Moore now for 2nd.
He made that look easy.
Kelly Moore takes it away from Mike Olson.
Now he gives chase to Layton. There, we're talking probably 4 or 5 car lanes. There you see it yourself. 117 laps down, so it's time for these guys to get to work.
Coming up to our shootout time, the Friday night shootout. It's all decided in those last 30 laps. This thing stays green. They're going to have to get on their horse and go to the Spurs. Because Layton's got about a 10-car length lead right now over Kelly Moore. Spin over in turn 3 and 4. Right in the middle there. And again, Bozino in the 36. And the caution comes out yet again on lap 119. So Brad Bozino out of Meriden, Connecticut, in the B&B Racing Chevrolet, having a tough go of it tonight. This is the 2nd time he's been involved. And we come back. We'll have about 30 laps, maybe just under 30 laps to go. And the Carquest 150 Busch North.
Back a few laps ago, you got fresh rubber. Can you go the whole way?
I think so. I mean, the Napa Chevrolet's been good all day. And, you know, the fresh tires, I think, is going to pay off here in the last 30 laps.
What's he been telling you on the radio? Because he's been working his way back up to the front. Right now, he's currently 2nd.
Since we got those tires, he hasn't really said a whole lot. It's just one of those things. Now we're done. We can't adjust it anymore. We made our adjustment, and hopefully we can get to the front.
Okay, that's the crew chief for Kelly Moore, the driver of the Napa Auto Parts machine number 47. The big key here right now is he has fresh right side rubber. Dave?
Thanks, Gary. And it looks like Kelly could be in position for an upset victory here tonight, if he can get around Brad Layton. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do, Tom.
Well, I don't think Brad Layton's going to make it easy.
No.
And I think these guys are, you know, the trend has kind of been set for tonight. This has been a hard race, and guys have been leaning on each other, and see no reason, you know, you're battling for the lead. A few laps to go. I think that's what we're going to see. I'm kind of excited.
Be about 27 laps to go when they cross the stripe on this restart.
And you expect this sort of battle, then you got to look to the guy who's in 3rd, who's Mike Olson, and, you know, he's just, we'll see what he does, because he may just want to let these guys go at it a little.
Brad Layton brings them around, single file. And there's the field. And the green flag once again in the air. Brad Layton. Kelly Moore in the hot. Ooh, contact between. There's Quarterly and Olson. Quarterly, Olson, and Truex. Racing really tight into turn 1. That brings out the caution once again. And Truex really didn't have anywhere to go, but it was Quarterly and Olson. I think Quarterly bobbled a little bit and came up on Mike Olson on the restart.
I think Quarterly probably watched the last restart and saw that Olson got off a little bit slow, and the same thing happened again. I don't know if that's a matter of Olson's car doesn't quite have the beef when they go to the green, but you could tell that Quarterly tried to set him up, get inside of him, and a very aggressive move, late braking, a little bit too late. That's when he bobbled and got into Olson's car and took them both out. I think he saw that his opportunity to pass Olson was going to be right on the restart, and he kind of bonsai'd it and didn't work.
And when we come back, we'll have what we hope will be the final restart of the Carquest 150 Busch North race here. And Dale Quarterly has been penalized 1 lap for rough riding. Dale Quarterly in the pits, the number 32. He got into Olson, has been penalized 1 lap by NASCAR for rough riding. So Quarterly in, taking his penalty, watching the penalty happen as the official. They'll leave him in there, but they didn't like what they saw in that last one, Tom. And I don't know, we don't want to get into agreeing or disagreeing with officials, but I don't know if Quarterly should have been there.
Well, it was a move that didn't work, obviously enough, but it looked like a decent shot.
Brad Layton, Kelly Moore, Jerry Markey, Brian Hoare, Denny Doyle, and Brian Chu. Quarterly back out on the track.
Lap 130 as they pass under the starter stand.
20 laps to go. Wow, and everybody's going for it now. Kelly Moore on the inside of Brad Layton. Kelly's got the fresh rubber on the right side. Let's see what they do off of turn 4. Kelly waits for Layton to drift up high, but that's not going to happen. So Kelly goes down low. Takes a look here on turn 1. Layton shuts the door, but back up high again. Layton complained earlier the car was a little loose.
That's the last thing you want at this point. Remember, it seemed we were watching him struggle a little more through 3 and 4, but he's doing a heck of a job right now.
That back end comes around. I don't know if he overdrives it, and that's all the brake that Kelly's going to need. Kelly again looks on the inside. Got a fender down there. And these two drivers will drive themselves clean, but neither one's going to make it easy on the other. Contact! Kelly Moore gets into the rear quarter of Brad Layton, turns him around.
You were saying?
We were just saying how good it was going to be, and Kelly just got it in there and looked like he went up just a little bit on the defending Busch North champion.
And that yellow flag was coming out even before those guys.
Oh, they were watching that. And here, look at Brad Layton come up to Kelly Moore here. Layton comes up, and he's looking to get his position back. And what's going to happen here?
Yeah, Mike Johnson had already spun out, coming out of 2, and the yellow Billy Ryder was just in the...
Oh, look at Kelly. Keep an eye on this.
Keep an eye on this, yeah.
Yeah, Kelly is trying to get around Layton, and Layton is pretty upset here. Let's take a look at this again. Wow. This race is becoming very uncivilized. Here's Kelly Moore. Now, he doesn't have enough down there to take that spot. Maybe he does, but he turned up, I believe. Here they are side by side. What happens, Tom?
Well, he wasn't quite there if you're talking about having your wheels up to the door.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he really came up on Layton. That's a tough call.
That is a tough call.
I think you gotta let that one go. I don't think you can point fingers in that situation.
I don't see any penalties, and we haven't heard of any right at the moment.
Of course, they're not going to listen to me, but
Layton is.
that's what it looks like.
Bradley is in 3rd position right now on the track.
In that position, it looked a little more like, you watch that lower line, it looks a little more like Kelly Moore came up a little.
That's what I thought I saw, but, it's real tough. It's a real tough call. And if you ask Brad Layton, what's he going to tell you?
He's going to tell you that Moore was all over him. He came up, with the 5 cars.
Yeah. And Kelly's going to say, look, I had the position. He came down. He shouldn't have been there. Lap number 134. It's going to be number 135 going by the next time. 15, it'll be 14 laps to go by the time we go see this thing go green again.
And there you see Marquis just going by. So give you an idea of how much of a lead those two drivers had.
Now, Marquis has been setting himself up for this all night. Stay out of trouble. Watch the car. Watch the drivers in front of you. He might have something for Kelly Moore here.
Doesn't look like Kelly really sustained any damage to speak of, so that isn't going to help Jerry Marquis. But certainly Jerry Marquis, as you said, had a fast car. He's kept out of trouble. We got a new two-car race.
Well, we've got an old-fashioned Friday night shootout in the making right here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Let's get a real-time look at what happened. This is not a slow-mo replay. This is a real-time replay of what happened between Kelly and Brad. And I saw that. It looked like Kelly got into him there a little bit. Now, Brad does a great job recovering. And we watched him do this before over at Beach Ridge last season. He did this. He got involved in something, got himself spun around, but able to turn it around and not lose a position.
He's got that thing into like second gear before it's even done spinning.
Oh, yeah. That's an old
just takes off.
That's an old act racer. That's the old American Canadian Tour. You got good at that.
And of course, he knew he was out of the lead, but he was in a big hurry to catch up to Kelly again and kind of give him a piece of his mind.
Sure. So now, though, the complexion of the race has really changed. You know what's really different about this? You look at the number 30 posted fourth on the board. I think that would be Denny Doyle's best finish if he were to stay there. And here comes the green flag, 13. It'll be 12 laps to go.
Kelly Moore, Jerry Marquis, Brad Layton, Denny Doyle, the top four.
Old Denny in a stay right machine. That'd be a good finish for him. Let's see what Kelly... Wow, Kelly's taking off.
Those fresh tires again, Dave.
Oh, Layton into the back of Jerry Marquis just a little bit out of the corner of my eye here. And let's see what happens here. See if Bradley's got anything for the driver of the number one.
Just flag, Mike Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson looks like he's done for the night.
No scrounging for points tonight.
Truex is back on the track, riding around, trying to get as many points as he can. 10 laps to go.
Actually, it might have been Martin Truex who got the points back. My apologies to Mike Johnson.
Kelly Moore, about 6 car lengths ahead of Jerry Marquis.
Brad Layton is really going after Marquis because he really wants to get back up on Kelly Moore.
Marquis got a real good car tonight, real strong. Not tore up like the other cars, and that's going to wear your tires. You spin them out and smoke them up like that. Bradley probably doesn't have much left on them.
Kelly Moore, good 4 car lengths ahead of 5, 6 down the straightaway. There you see it yourself.
Kelly trying to find his way back into victory lane. Here comes Layton. Right on the tail of Jerry Marquis.
Yeah, and it doesn't, at first Layton was really leaning right into Marquis. But Jerry's got a good car, so it's not going to be that easy.
Oh, problems. There goes Brian Chu across the grass and off the back straightaway. And that will not bring out the caution as Chu is able to power the 09 and get it back onto the track. Tough break as he has gotten the car all the way back up to 7.
There's another car that's spun and sitting right in the entrance to pit road.
You're right, there is.
It's Kobola.
It's Mac Kobola. Wow. 5 laps to go. They're not going to stop this race. Tough break for Brian Chu. Worked his way all the way back up and looking for a 6th or 7th place finish. Here's Denny Doyle riding in 4th right now. The tire marks on Doyle's car, too. But one of the better-looking cars that are out there right now. And trouble over at turn 4. Rowe goes around. Mike Rowe spins it out and able to keep it going. Well,
Brad Layton, he must go around and he's, if he's aware the cars are spinning out, he's going to be, like, irritated at this point. When are you guys just spin out on the track and stay there so we can get a yellow?
Layton is in 2nd place right now. He will not have enough time to catch Kelly Moore. Kelly Moore is a good 10 car lengths ahead of Brad Layton. And 2 laps to go this time across the stripe.
Tell Mike Johnson to get out of Brad Layton's way.
Layton all over the back end of Johnson. Pounds his way through.
Boy, is Layton a man on a mission, huh?
Layton might get a rough riding penalty if he keeps that up. You hate to see that happen, but he's really pounded his way up. 1 lap to go. Here comes the white flag. Kelly Moore's going, I'm getting out of this neighborhood. There's a good second or so between them. Maybe a half second or so, but it's going to be enough for Kelly Moore to bring home his second victory of the season. 30 car, Teddy Doyle, top 3 finish tonight. Here comes Kelly Moore. Here comes Brad Layton, Denny Doyle, Jerry Marquis, and Dale Shaw. Wow. Well, you saw a little bit of everything in this race. That's certainly something you can write home about. And let's see, keep your eyes on Kelly Moore just in case the 55 comes by to say hi.
A little congratulatory pat in the back.
Yeah, let's here's Kelly coming down to get the checkered flag. Let's see if there's any hard feelings.
Winner of the Carquest 150 here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Second victory of the year for Kelly Moore. He's having himself a season. Denny Doyle, top 3. Doyle's got his car there already. Go, wow! That is his best finish ever. Doyle has never finished that high before. And I don't have the stats from years back, but I'm 99.9% certain. And a nice crew, good people there in the Stay Right team.
Boy, if you're looking for some piece of a Busch North car to hang on the wall of your rec room, this would be a good weekend to get in touch with one of the teams.
Yeah, we got a few. We got a few here for you. Now, where did Bradley take the number 55? He's into his pits? Oh, yeah, he's down below in his pits, and they're jacking up the right side of the car. Kelly Moore going the wrong way into victory lane, but that's okay. Kelly, you're entitled. What a great race, Tom. And Gary Danko in victory lane.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a very popular win for Kelly Moore here tonight at the Jack Root Stafford Motor Speedway as he finds victory lane number 2 on his 2001 season.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It was a good race. I hope the fans had a great time. You know, the car was good. At the beginning of the race, the car was a little tight. We come in and pitted. The guys done an awesome job in the pit this week. And so, you know, they got me in, they got me out real quick. We had some close calls near the end of the race there. But, you know, the 55 and I was racing hard together, and we get up underneath in there, and the yellow just come out. And, you know, we were having a great race. That was a lot of fun.
Tell us about those closing laps. What was going through your mind?
Well, you know, when you're out there leading, you're just hoping nothing's going to break at that point. You know, the car was running real good. We had transmission go right after qualifying. We qualified here on the pole tonight and set a track record. And when I was coming in from qualifying, I heard it grinding and thrashing, and we started checking it all over, and ended up being the transmission. So just thanks, my hats off to this crew. They dug real hard, got us out here real quick tonight, turned the car around real quick, and they prepared a great car for me. We've had a couple of hard luck weeks, so hopefully this will turn our luck around.
We certainly had a good time tonight. I'd like to thank the folks that support Speedway Heat, Trackside Magazine, monthly in-depth coverage of New England racing, of which our co-host Tom Ring is one of the riders, one of the very best riders, too. Will that get you a raise, or no? Well,
I doubt it.
Lynn Ladder in Scaffolding in Springfield, Massachusetts, who's got us up in the air tonight. They provided the platform for today's show. Heister New England, they deliver productivity. Crazy Alan Claffey, bnsracing.com. Check that out when you're on the web. And we'll be back with more racing all season long here on AT&T Broadband 3. You've been watching Speedway Heat.